So what exactly is the kryptonite to your spiritual awakening? What is holding you down, holding you back from realizing that perfect life that is your absolute right as a child of God? So the kryptonite to realizing your spiritual awakening, to realizing all that you can be, is actually looking through the body's eyes. And what exactly do I mean by that? Looking and hearing through the body's eyes helps us perceive bodies, helps us receive actions in the world, help us perceive issues in the world. But when we go beyond that, when we refuse instead to look through the body's eyes, instead see what the truth is, that everything and everyone around you is filled with God, that heaven is here right now with you, that love and joy can be here with you every minute of every day. I love A Course in Miracles. There are many ways to God and many ways to overcome that spiritual kryptonite that can help you overcome the issue with perceiving only through the body's eyes, instead realizing that you are all powerful, that you are all love, and that fear blocks it. Go beyond that kryptonite. Refuse to believe in what the ego wants you to believe in. The ego wants you to believe that you are just this body, that you are sickly, that you are weak, that you are powerless, because that's what you see out there. You see the sickly, you see the weak, you see the powerless, you see the miserable, you see the joyless. That is the ego putting that fear, those issues in your mind. Instead, the Course in Miracles teaches us to give up the separation, to realize that he and her and I are all one, that we're all one spirit in reality, with all powerful spirits made in God's image. And for now, we've decided to take on opportunities in this world, to take on these bodies as a learning device. And believe me, it is tough. That kryptonite can cripple us, can drag us down in believing that we're weak, that we're powerless. Instead, throw off that ego. Refuse to let it see you as sickly, as beaten down, as subject to all the problems out there. Instead, learn to go beyond the body's eyes, to go beyond what the body is teaching you, and go beyond those 5 senses. I have a whole playlist I will link here and in the description below that teaches you how to go beyond using your 5 senses as we're used to go beyond them and open up reception to love, to the Holy Spirit, to Jesus Christ, to your angels, to the ascended masters that are guiding you in every moment of every day. Throw off that kryptonite that the ego has made you believe is part of your life, that you're stuck with this heavy rock that's dragging you down. Instead, realize when you open up your senses, when you open up to your guidance, when you open up your vision to what is really out there, all of a sudden you'll find that heaven is right here with you, that heaven is yours, that joy and love are with you. You are an all-powerful mind. Your mind is the creative agent of spirit, and you're creating all the time. Realize that if your mind wants to use the body for attack, the body will become prey to illnesses, to sickness. It will start breaking down because it's being subject to all this negative energy. Instead, if the mind accepts the Holy Spirit's purpose to bring us all back to love, to bring us all back to realize of power, of who we are, that your body will become invulnerable, that health will return to you, that you'll find all things coming to you, abundance in your life, joy in your life. Love will flood into your life. You know when you're listening to the Holy Spirit, when you're following that guidance, that love and bliss become yours and things start going your way. The opposite of hearing through the body's ears or seeing through the body's eyes is taking on or accepting communication from God and from the Holy Spirit. that communication is coming to you every moment of every day, from other people, in your mind, from repetitive positive thoughts, from guidance, from friends answering a question that you've posed out to the universe. It's all fantastic when you realize the Holy Spirit is guiding you and you accept that guidance. In this world, forgiveness delivers to us everything that we want, everything that we need to be lifted out to realize love and joy. And that forgiveness, of course, in Miracles teaches us, is totally different from forgiveness, how we normally think of it. Because in reality, the Course in Miracles teaches us that this is all a dream of being separate from God, that God's up here and we're down there. The truth is that God is within you. It's within everyone out there, all around you. It's in all the creatures. It's in all the trees. We cannot be outside of heaven. We cannot be outside of God. And when we realize that, when we accept that, when we listen to the communication from the Holy Spirit and we ask, why am I here? We listen for the guidance and we realize it's coming to you in every moment of every day. The power returns to us, the love returns to us, and our life becomes one of bliss, of happiness and joy. As you accept the Holy Spirit's life and you see those miracles happening all around you, see the miracles transform the relationships with the people that were bothering you. Believe me, I've found that others can absolutely feel your energy, can feel your thoughts about them. You know if someone's mad at you, you know if someone dislikes you. Instead, send love to them, send light to them, and only look at who they are and what they are. It transformed my life when I was a software sales manager and I had an individual on my team who was very jealous of me having that position. They had wanted that job. And she would have a meltdown and come in my office and start screaming and yelling and really being somewhat out of control. But I knew that she was one of the best salespeople on my team and that the truth of her was someone loving, that she was full of God's light and love. And it was amazing as I would sit there and listen to her and send her love, our relationship became transformed. We actually became really good friends, and she worked for me and came with me when I left for another company. It was incredible to see that transformation in our relationship and in everything we did. And I found that since then, when I've had jobs and I see that light, I remember I had another manager in another job and people couldn't believe that I could get along with him because he was known to be very demanding, to be very overpowering, but I refused to see him for that person. I refused to see him as a person subject to the capricious whims of the ego. Instead, I realized that he was loved, that he was light, that he was God's child, and our relationship was incredible. He could feel that energy from me, and he helped advance my career. For the first time, I moved into a management position under his guidance and went into management and continued in positions like that for the following 25 years. He was my stepping stone because I refused to believe what other people believed in him. And he could tell that I accepted him and I appreciated him and all that he did. Here's a really effective exercise to go beyond looking through the body's eyes. Pick someone that you're having issue with, the person that irritates you the most, the person that you want to judge the most. See that person, see their mannerisms, see their face, see their movements, see what they say, see what they do. Picture them as acutely as you possibly can in your mind, interacting with you or interacting with others. Then instead, let Christ take that vision. See yourself going beyond your thoughts about them, going beyond what you perceive about them, and letting Christ and the Holy Spirit transform your vision and have you see them as that perfect Holy Spirit, that Son of God himself, filled with light and filled with love. Only then can you also believe that of yourself. Believe that no matter what actions you think you're doing or have done on this earth, that you are truly made of love. Push that fear away, push that kryptonite away, and claim that loving relationship with all your brothers and sisters. When we go beyond that, when we go beyond looking through the body's eyes, we can pray for the right direction. We can pray for love. We can pray about what should I do in these circumstances. The fact is that there is no linear time, that God and the Holy Spirit see all the past, all the present, and all the future, and they can guide you. They will guide you. They absolutely will guide you every day for the best possible outcome for you and everyone and everything in your life. It's incredible just exactly how fantastic your life can become. When we realize Christ in our brothers, when we realize the perfect existence of Christ, that holy, perfect nature in our brothers, only then can we realize it in ourselves. Only then can we believe it, because we are constantly, the Course in Miracles teaches us, projecting these beliefs about ourselves out onto other people. So once we give up these beliefs about them, when we refuse to believe their thoughts about themselves as being miserable, fearful, or weak, or having to fight for power, or having to abuse other people to gain power themselves, when we refuse to believe that about them, when we instead look beyond what our body's eyes are seeing to the reality and the truth of their identity, that's the only time that we can believe it about ourselves as well. Put your faith in God, put your faith in Holy Spirit, so that you can be lifted up, so you can see the beauty in everyone and everything out there, because when you see that, that's when you reclaim your power. That's when you push away that kryptonite. You push away the ego. I have a complete video on the ego if you don't understand what exactly that is, which I'll link in the description below. The ego is something we took on when we came to this earth to help us believe in the separation, so that we could be separate from each other, so we could be special, so that we could believe that we have more abilities than others, that we could also believe that we have usurped the power of God, that we are it, that we're powerful in these bodies. And the sad thing is that when we take on that ego, we've claimed powerlessness. We have chained that block of kryptonite to our ankle, taking away the joy and love and bliss in our life. Now, once you've realized the beauty in your brothers and sisters out there, it transforms your relationship, it transforms your life, and you're given a new purpose. You can go out there and take that new purpose to realize that the Holy Spirit is communicating through you to everyone out there. And the Holy Spirit's guidance is very strong, it's very deep. And once you start listening to that guidance, you'll be led totally in the right direction. Stop looking through the body's eyes. Stop relying on what you hear through the body's ears, and meditate. Ask for guidance. Ask for signs. Ask to be led to the best outcome for you and everyone in the world. And then listen to that guidance. The angels are with you, the Course in Miracles tells us, and ascended masters that have led a life on earth are here guiding you at every moment, every day. All you have to do is ask for help. They can't help you unless you request it. And if you do, you will be throwing away that kryptonite that keeps you locked and looking through the body's eyes and looking through the body's senses, and instead claim love, push away fear, and instead claim power. But if you listen instead to the Holy Spirit, if you go beyond the body's eyes to the body's hearing, you accept the function the Holy Spirit gives you. And that function is to be the light of the world, to bring joy to the world. You can shine the light of your love, of your mind, into everyone out there. And believe me, it makes such an impact. Realize that miracles are being performed every day all around you when you request them. When you ask the Holy Spirit, you ask God to help lift you up from perceiving in the body's eyes, perceiving through the body's ears, that miracles happen for you, that you are then accepting guidance and transformation in your life. What the body's eyes will normally see with that kryptonite is a world of conflict, a world of issues. But instead, make sure and meditate. Spend your time in meditation as much as you can, even if it's only 10 minutes during the day. You could pray to Holy Spirit, you could pray to God, you could pray to the angels, you can pray to also deceased relatives to help open up your heart, to help open up that love within you so that you can receive the miracles that are yours as your right as a child of God. I look forward to your thoughts on how this transforms your life, giving up that kryptonite, giving up the ego, and viewing everyone and everything around you as a forgiven world and letting love rule.